Okay, just letting you guys know, this will be a spoiler review. I will try and make a non-spoiler review soon. It's just, this type of movie, it is really hard to talk about it in depth without exposing some major plot points, because me, and probably you as well, have probably seen on social media that there has been just spoilers left and right all around for this movie. And I've been lucky enough not to lay my eyes on any of them. But if you don't care about that, I would strongly recommend that if you haven't seen it, just see regular reviews and go watch it for yourself, because I do highly recommend that you see this movie. It was really good. So anyway, let's go ahead and review. Well, I'm gonna do a spoiler review of this movie, so let's go. So, Spider-Man No Way Home was directed by John Watts and has an incredible cast. I will go into that more in depth a little bit later on, but this is basically an incredible superhero crossover film that really goes in depth into the past of the Spider-Man franchise, a lot through its peaks and valleys, where it has been, where it could be going, but most importantly where it is right now. So it stars Tom Holland, following the events of the previous movie where his identity was revealed by Mysterio. And Mysterio basically tries to convince the public that Spider-Man murdered him. So now Spider-Man has all this negative publicity, extreme negative publicity. He is being interrogated, he needs a lawyer, and desperately kind of pleads to Doctor Strange just to basically just magically undo all of this mess that he has quite unfairly got himself in, and he just wants things to go back to normal. So basically Spider-Man bargains with Doctor Strange to create a memory erasure spell to basically just prevent this whole fiasco from happening, and Doctor Strange does this, but Spider-Man keeps on interrupting, and he makes the spell unstable, and basically just Doctor Strange just tells Spider-Man just to fuck off, basically, after it seems like trouble just follows him wherever he goes, and makes this super unstable spell that ultimately backfires and creates this rift between the multiverse, allowing some well-known Spider-Man villains to come in, and as well as some other very major characters. It has literally been no longer than about half an hour since I left the movie theatre seeing this movie, and I just immediately after this movie was over, I just immediately just wanted to drop everything and just review this movie, because even though I've only just seen it, and it's going to take me a little bit of time to process what I've seen, I think I can safely say that this is the best Spider-Man movie so far. I don't really know how much further they're going to take Spider-Man after this, because this was basically kind of like a masterpiece of fan service. A lot of people has said that fan service is a bad thing. It stops creators from making something new and original, and it's just kind of pandering and just showing things that fans want to see without while the studio would want to give them something completely different. But this was a perfect balance of surprising people with fan service, and also making something pretty original, and to be honest, something that I haven't really seen done before. I mean, Marvel is the master of crossover films. That's just a fact, really. I mean, they basically pioneered the crossover film without it being campy or unnecessarily cheesy and having it fall apart. And they really know what they're doing when it comes to making a very good, fun, entertaining and satisfying crossover picture. And ever since Avengers came out almost 10 years ago now, they have slowly but surely, I mean that was a great film too, but over time they've just gotten better and better at doing it. I mean, for a first try, the Avengers was a triumph really of making a crossover movie that works, and still looking back at it now, it hasn't aged really that badly, to be honest, compared to a lot of other superhero movies that have come out in the past. So since this is a spoiler review, I'm just going to say, just off the bat, just who turns up in this movie. So the villains, Dr. Otto Octavius from Spider-Man 2, Green Goblin, Norman Osborn from the first Spider-Man film, whoever that lizard guy is, I forget the name, from The Amazing Spider-Man, and Electro from The Amazing Spider-Man 2. So 4 past villains make an appearance in this movie, and also Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire make their reappearance as Spider-Man, and the reveal in the audience, everybody was just screaming when Andrew Garfield took off his mask, and everybody was also cheering when Tobey Maguire made it on screen. And I mean, you can always complain of saying that they could have done something more with the characters, but what I think they did here was nothing short of amazing, really. It was so satisfying to see them interact with each other, and it was really funny, it was really smartly written, there wasn't really any cringy moments between them. It was done very, very well, and it's like the chemistry between the 3 of them were just so good. It was amazing, to be honest, and I can't really think of like a better way that they could have done it. It was, and like they also address the cheesiness of the previous Spider-Man movies. I mean. I do really like the Sam Raimi trilogy, but it's pretty hard not to say that they have grown quite cheesy over the past decade. I mean, like, not in a bad way, but like they are very cheesy movies, and of course the current version of Marvel, the more modernised version, does poke fun at the cheesiness of like Otto Octavius, Green Goblin, and the Amazing Spider-Man villains too. And Andrew Garfield, his entrance was really, really well done. Peter Parker, Tobey Maguire, also had that same spirit as he did in the original movies, but it also shows that they have aged since the events of those movies. And the best thing I loved about this movie is that they really gave the previous villains from the previous films the redemption that they deserved. Because like Spider-Man 1 and 2, of course, Spider-Man doesn't actually kill the villains, and the villains ultimately kill themselves. But this movie, like, it's just a way of them giving them like a second chance, and they all do find their redemption, or all of them really. Of course, like Otto Octavius's inhibited chip is repaired, and he is no longer tormented by his arms. Let's see. Green Goblin is given his antidote in a very emotional scene, and Sandman also makes a return, and he was also reformed as well. Basically just reformation all around for every single one of the villains. But it wasn't just reformation for the villains alone. Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man also get some character healing from carried over from their previous films. Andrew Garfield gets a chance to save Tom Holland's MJ Zenyatta, and that kind of gives him his emotional reformation for not being able to save MJ in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. But probably definitely the most important plot point of the movie was the death of Aunt May. And there's a very emotional, very heartbreaking scene between Tom Holland and Aunt May. And after this scene, because the Green Goblin killed killed Aunt May in this movie. Of course, Tom Holland's Spider-Man becomes very revenge-driven to try and kill Green Goblin, just like the way Tobey Maguire tries to kill the guy who killed Uncle Ben in the 2002 movie. And in the climax of the movie, you see that that Spider-Man is about to kill Green Goblin with his flying board again, trying to impale him again. But you see Tobey Maguire just stopping him and just telling him that this isn't the answer. I mean, like that revenge basically just does nothing, just makes everything worse, and it's just best that we just try and cure these villains once and for all, which was a very satisfying way to end the movie. I am growing kind of sick of just killing off the villain or just letting the villain just waste away, and it was very refreshing to see all the villains being reformed, no matter what they did, and it's kind of just like what Tobey Maguire learnt as being Spider-Man, passes it on to Tom Holland, and just doesn't let revenge or spite or anger win, just like so many other movies in the past, and finally just gives mercy to all the villains. And because it's great, it's just great seeing stuff like this happen, because it doesn't happen often, and it was very brave of the film creators to end the film this way, and it was a very emotionally satisfying and a very nice ending, and a very well deserved ending. And of course that's not it as well. Of course there's going to be a bittersweet ending to all of this, and the answer to that is that the only way they're going to be able to make these every past character and villain go back to the universe that they belong is of course to have everybody forget about Spider-Man like this never happened. I'm not sure if this was the right choice to end the movie. I'm pretty sure it would have been a better decision for Peter to learn that he messed up, and this was, and maybe the way that it played out, and have everybody remember that he's Spider-Man, and have everybody basically accept what happened to be the right ending. But I mean, they had to add a bit of a bittersweet moment at the end, as like all movies seem to do, and even though I probably don't agree that this probably was the right choice, I'll probably have to think about it more and watch the movie a few more times for me to make sure of that. But overall, no pun intended, a marvellous movie. It was really a crossover marvel to see this play out on the big screen, because there was definitely many times that I had a big grin on my face, just seeing all these characters back and fresher than ever. Kind of, and I mean, like, this was like a collaboration between Marvel and Sony, because you can really tell that Sony really wanted to play the part in the movie, because of course Amazing Spider-Man was owned by Sony and taken back by Marvel. So it was all like a big, kind of like something that you haven't really seen done on the big screen since maybe Roger Rabbit in 1988, where rivaling companies put aside their differences and just work together to make something that's truly special. And this was special. I highly recommend it. Go see it if you can. It is one of the year's best movies. I'll definitely make a top 10 list of my top 10 movies of 2021, but this will definitely be in the top 3. But anyway, that's my opinion of Spider-Man No Way Home. It was excellent. Go see it, and take care.